I am Sabrina. I'm one of the co-owners of Noon, and I'm also a blackwork tattoo artist here.
I'm Jen. I'm a tattoo artist, and I own the tattoo shop Noon, where I work with all my friends. So when I first started tattooing, I was self-taught. I was tattooing at home, working with my roommate and friend, Sabrina Perlin, my studio mate now. That's the long story short, I guess, is that we started doing that. We both went on our separate journeys, working in different shops, learning from other people. And then eventually we're like, what if we had our own space together where we made all the rules and could do whatever we wanted?
Jen and I decided to open up Noon together.
We got this little shop that was literally 2 tables, no back room. We'd eat our lunch in front of clients, but it was really cute. And we were there for a year in the middle of the pandemic. Rough. And eventually when things started to get a bit more open, we were like, what if we had more people? And that's when we opened this space. So this iteration of Noon that's now been open for almost 2 years. But it's everything I want. Just more people, more community, a big space that I can put all my silly little trinkets in.
I'm Kelsey, and I do both cosmetic and body tattooing. My story is all gossip, so I'm trying to think of the not gossip version, but I did a trade with Jen and then had met Sabrina and really connected with both of them, and they talked about expanding the space, and I was really excited to be a part of their kind of expansion and a new team and different kinds of artists and their work, and I liked who they were. So I hopped on board with someone else from a studio I was at before and became part of the team that way.
My name is Sher. I'm a tattoo artist here at Noon. I just really love the vibe here at the studio. When I originally talked to some of the artists here, I told them that I wanted to join a team where if everyone went out without me, I would get FOMO and be really sad. And that's exactly how I feel about the artists here.
So my name is B, and I'm the shop jokester. I bring all the laughs. I don't actually tattoo. I'm just here for the gag. So I joined Noon because I was interested in joining a shop that had similar values with artists that I was inspired by. I really like the art that the shop produces, and I wanted to be part of a team that I could not only learn from, but also feel like I was part of.
I got started in cosmetic tattooing because I had my own work done. I had eyebrows done by someone, and then from there I was offered an apprenticeship. And so I did an apprenticeship for a year doing cosmetic tattooing, and then from there, it was actually when I started working out of a tattoo shop that I started picking up hand poking from help from my colleagues and just kind of expanded because I was always an artist anyway.
So my tattoo career started when I had gone through all of the other artistic mediums that I had wanted to try. I was previously doing sculpture and toy design prior to this, and it was fun, but it wasn't financially or emotionally fulfilling. So I needed to explore another avenue, and tattooing was one of the only things that I hadn't yet tried. So I shopped around. I looked for places that were looking for apprentices, and eventually I had landed one after the interview, and I stuck with them for a couple months before moving on to a bigger studio where I had become a junior artist.
I always wanted to be a tattoo artist, and while I was an accountant, I had a plan. I was thinking I was going to save up for another year, quit my job, build my portfolio, and then apply for apprenticeship. And one time I was getting tattooed and an artist walked by while I was sketching, and he looked at my sketchbook and said, "I think we need to talk about your career."
I was definitely the type of kid who was like most happy sitting alone and like coloring. And I went to like an arts-based high school. I did my degree in illustration design. I always knew that I wanted to have a job in the creative field. Just didn't know exactly where I would fit in. For the longest time was doing just freelance design and illustration work. My drawing style is like very graphic, almost like comic, bold lines and contrast. And I think those are some aspects that translate really well into tattoos.
I think one thing that's really cool about all the artists at Noon is that, like, we're all artists first. We all, like, have interest in the arts separate from tattooing. I went to art school. I worked as, like, an illustrator. I did murals. I did all this stuff before I came into tattooing. So I kind of had that background. I've, like, always wanted to be making art.
I think as a studio, we set ourselves apart because we really value the comfort of our clients, sometimes over the comfort of ourselves.
I hear a lot from people who come to Noon that it's just like a really welcoming space.
We've really worked hard to curate a space that feels really warm and inviting and relaxing.
We're just trying to do something that speaks to us and is like playful and fun and interesting.
I know that it's so cliche to say like we're a family, but I really do see us as just like a little group of besties, and it makes coming to work really fun and exciting. And I think that same energy rubs off on our clients too.
Feel really like seen and validated here, not only like with the team but also just like with my art. I feel a lot more comfortable with the work that I'm producing, and what better way to make good art than with people that you enjoy being with.
The thing that sets Noon apart from other tattoo shops is the trinkets. So you should come visit and look at them because we're always adding more. The best part, that's all I did during the pandemic, shop for trinkets.
I think the best part of the tattoo world expanding is that it's created so many niches. When I was younger and applying to tattoo shops for apprenticeships at like 19 years old, it was all American traditional, which wasn't a style that I really connected with, and I didn't know how I could fit in, and I just kind of like gave up on that journey for a few years. And then when I saw things expand and people offering really contemporary work and women tattooing and queer people tattooing, it felt like there was finally room for me. So I think the expansion has been hugely exciting in that there's just like niches now that we can like really fully fit into.
The negatives of having being part of such a large industry as tattooing is that the market can be really oversaturated.
And I think the market will sort itself out if someone who's self-taught becomes popular. That means there's just a demand for it. There might not be enough teachings about safety of tattooing, but otherwise I do think it is exciting for more people to have access to this. I'm not personally a huge gatekeeper about tattooing unless it's about safety.
I find that it's really beneficial for the person getting tattooed to find someone that they can have a really good experience with, and with more people doing tattoos, there's a wider range of who you can go to, which can be a pro and con, but I'd like to see that as a pro.
There's a lot more tattooers and a lot more studios, and that just means that the scene is diversifying. There's like people from all different backgrounds, walks of life, different art styles. I think it's really inspiring. It also means that clients have access to pretty much any style that they want to get tattooed. You can find an artist who specializes in.
I'm grateful for coming into it when I did, because I had this opportunity to learn something that I always thought was like sort of inaccessible. Like it's not that easy to get an apprenticeship. Like, you know, there's expectations for what it's gonna be like. It might be like, you know, intimidating.
The con of having so many artists working, especially if we take Toronto as an example, is that there's a lot of competition. It just means that you have to have a really strong relationship with your clients and kind of like carve out a niche for your work and your style.
I think it's cool that it's gotten more accessible. People are like really open to sharing knowledge.
When I think about where I want my career to go next, I would really love to do more traveling, maybe do some guest spots abroad, tattooing in other studios, as a way to reach some of my clientele abroad, but also just to like meet new artists and network.
I think where I see myself going next is moving a little bit further away from just being so abstract. I have actually been kind of gravitating towards a bit more traditional imagery, a lot of like animal work or like tattoos of animals I'm really interested in right now, and exploring like the natural world a bit. And I think I'm looking forward to doing more kind of larger scale pieces and like perhaps expanding into a bit of machine work instead of just hand poking. I like the idea of having a multitude of tools at my disposal.
I have started to do some larger scale work, so I'd love to do more stuff like that. Like more back pieces, more like, you know, big thigh pieces, chest pieces. Like,
I would also love to start doing some more big projects, some back pieces maybe.
I want to do nothing but back pieces. I want to do full sleeves, back pieces, massive full body tattoos are the way I want to go. Full chest, like, so if you're out there, I'm looking at you.
I think I could also see myself, you know, doing more other art. Like, I came into this for like an art degree, so I do want to make other things. Like I get bored. So I'm always like, you know, taking a class, learning like ceramics, learning whatever. I just want to like keep pushing the limit. I find that's the best way to stay inspired, by like trying a different medium.
Love to like take the opportunity to just do more stuff that isn't tattoo related. I think that as soon as I got into the industry, it's the only thing that I've thought about for the last 5 years. I definitely want to get back into sculpture and like toy design work because I love working with 3D models.